Afternoon, everyone. This is Matt over at Milestone Capital Growth Portfolio.com. Today is Sunday, June 4th. Okay, let's get right to it. We took a look at the markets, so you know what's going on with the markets. But I want to look at BWLD first, and then we're going to look at two others today. All right, this one here has had a fantastic move to the upside. Just beautiful. Nice run from down here, but there's something I want to really point out right now. Okay, you're at a critical juncture for this one, and something's going to happen. Okay, something's going to happen. So, if this is the top, then we are going to take a nice little break. All right. So, in my opinion, we're going to take a break. It's just that simple. We've evaluated everything. Ray called this out also, and we want to know where we're going to go. What could our target be for this one? Okay. So we have the middle Bollinger Band right here. Once we break this trend line tomorrow, then we have the middle Bollinger Band right here, and we have the 50-day moving average right here. And we have the 100 and the 50 sitting down here. Okay. Relative strength index is at 70. So this could be taking a nice little break. All right. So hopefully it does. And if all goes well, here's what we're going for. We're going to go for a little target right here called a gap. Okay. Eventually, all gaps get filled, in our opinion. The ones we monitor anyway do. So what we want to do is have that target in place. As you can see, when we dropped here, and it just consolidated and dropped more, eventually this gap was filled. So you could see it was all the way up and filled. Okay, so eventually this gap is going to get filled. And relative strength index right now is coming off of 70. It was definitely overbought. Looks really nice. We have a current trend line in the pattern right now in the daily, and it is going that way. Okay, so if it breaks to the upside over these, then that means it's going to go higher. But if it breaks this, it's going to go lower. All right. So, we got a nice little consolidation area here. So we want to make sure that we keep an eye on that, because that could be the support and it could channel just across. Okay. So it could do something like this and then just channel in here, and which will give you, just a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern, make a decision on what's going to happen from there. So we'll have to see what happens with this one, but generally what should take place is it'll come down here, it'll channel in this area, tag this line a few times, come over here, and then boom, down to here. So we'll have to see what happens with BWLD. Keep an eye on it. It looks good for a drop. Netflix, we call this off the bottom over here. It is doing spectacular. Beautiful move to the upside. Okay, we went from 316, 349 so far, and looking really good. Okay, we have an upside gap right here. Remember, earnings are coming soon and stuff like that, so I wouldn't marry this one. We have a big plan for this one during earnings, so if you feel like making a lot of money, make sure you join us as a member. So right now, here's your downtrend line, here's your uptrend line. Okay, and they're going to meet somewhere over here. And that's going to be pretty much your trade zone here. I don't think it's going to get up here just yet. I do think we're going to get to the 50-day moving average right around 360. Yeah, right about 359.42, and I do think we're going to pull back down, and it's going to act as support on this line before we move a little bit higher. So I don't think it's going to come up and close this gap. It may. We'll have to see what happens, but the relative strength index is at 60. The weekly is changing a little bit. As you can see here, I'll switch it so you can take a nice little peak, but I did think we're going to get a pullback. But you can see here your weekly. Let me zoom this in a little bit. Whoops. All right, so your weekly had that nice hammer, and now you have a nice trend to the upside. So basically, it's going to stay in this and keep going up here until earnings, and then a decision's going to happen at earnings. You can see you're at 28 right here on the weekly. So if you go 4 weeks out, now basically what I'm saying is you can pick a better entry on the next dip. Okay, but it is definitely in an uptrend pattern. It's over the 100-day moving average right now and has a beautiful trend line to the upside. Okay, you got a beautiful cross right here, the stochastics. You got a nice turn of your true strength index, and your ADX is starting to move up, and you're starting to pull up here. So if you're not in this yet, wait for a pullback and use the daily to do that. Then you can go back to looking at the weekly. We are in over here, so we're okay. If you're not in yet, then you're going to have an opportunity to get in on a trend line, because it looks like it's going to take a little bit of a break after we get to the 50-day moving average at 360, or you could play it up to 360. Your choice. All right, we're going to look at one more, and it's going to be Tesla. Why Tesla? Because it's been fun. It's doing really well. We call it top over here, get some puts. We're going for this gap close right here. And once we get the gap closed, then we'll decide from there what's going to take place. We have plenty of room for this to come down and get the gap, and I am very, very confident we're going to get that gap. unless news or something else. I'm just using technicals. I'm going to run off this candle right here, and you can see this is our new pattern right here. See, I'm using this group in here, and I'm going to run off the top of this one. Okay, so that's what you're looking at right there. So it's in this pattern right now. It's not dead. It's not, it's not rolling over or anything like that, but it is in a downward pattern right now. And here are your two trend lines, 1 and 2. Okay, short-term trend line is on the downside. Longer-term trend line is also on the downside. Okay, so if we break this line, then pretty much assume we're going to come up here. But look at your relative strength index starting to turn down. You can see your ADX starting to turn down. Your stochastics beautiful to the downside, and your true strength index looking fantastic heading to the downside. So this put should do very well. We have longer term targets on this one, but for now we're going to show you the short term. If you'd like to learn more about our different pattern setups for a longer term, please definitely stop in the live chat with us at milestonecapitalgrowthportfolio.com. Become a member. It'll be the best thing you can do for your portfolio in 2015, and we guarantee it. All right, this is Matt. We will see you tomorrow in live chat or on our new alert system on Twitter or any of the other outlets that we use to communicate with our members so they get it live and fast. All right, have a great afternoon.